All right, today we have Dr. Gracia here in our office, and she's going to tell us a little bit about her thoughts on several of our products. So, why don't you go ahead and start off giving a little bit of explanation about your background?
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much. My background actually is in pharmacology, and so I tell people I am a recovering pharmacist. I did go to pharmacy school, so I understand the basics of medications, how they work in the body, have the medical training. After pharmacy school, I specialized in toxicology, and so that was everything from acute toxicology to chronic toxicology. This is where the real life happens, what's not in the textbooks, and so that's really what I was interested in, what I loved, because we had real hands-on experience helping people recover from the real life exposures. After that, I continued on to specialize in research and did wonderful projects. Now I specialize in holistic, natural types of therapies. So that's why I want to talk to you today about some of these products that I recommend on a regular basis to my clients for balancing out their body. So, looking at ways to naturally help your body come into the balance, whether you're overcoming a chronic type of disorder or whether you're just wanting to be healthy and fulfill your full potential. These are really the basic building blocks to what your body needs. So, I always talk about minerals first with my clients. Minerals and water go hand in hand. So the body is mostly water. If you have 75% of your body as a substance, that should probably be 75% of the work and changes that you do as far as making sure you have the best quality and best filter available for water. After you have the water topic taken care of, then we're going to look at minerals. So I like to highlight minerals instead of vitamins. Vitamins, you can actually get a significant number from the diet that you eat. However, the minerals are significantly lacking. Studies show that our food these days have about 30-35% of the minerals that it used to maybe 50 years ago. And that's because of the quality of soil and the growing methods that we're using. And so, although most people will be talking about doing multivitamins, vitamin supplementation, I actually find that minerals are even more important. So, the primary minerals we're talking about are going to be magnesium and trace elements. And I prefer to use minerals in a liquid form. The most common form of supplements we find are actually going to be in pills. Pills are harder to digest, harder to absorb, and you really can cut to the chase just by using a liquid formulation. So the magnesium, the trace elements often can be found together in a mixture, but there is one exception to the mineral combination here, and that is going to be silica, which brings me to the pH Plus Enhancer product. So pH Plus Enhancer is thus named because you can add it to your reverse osmosis water to increase the pH, to make it more alkaline, easier to absorb in your body. However, the pH Plus Enhancer is primarily a dissolved sodium silicate, which gives your body a wonderful source of silica that it needs to balance out with those other minerals. But it has to be taken separately. And the reason is because it doesn't play well with your other minerals. So I want to do a real quick little demonstration here. I have a bottle of filtered water with a mineral calcium, magnesium in here. It would be an example of what you usually take. I'm going to add in the pH Plus Enhancer, which is the silica. And you can see that it immediately starts to form a white cloud in the bottom of this jar. So now the once clear liquid now is a little bit cloudy here. And so you can see that it actually is a precipitate. When this happens, it's not toxic. It's not going to hurt anything, but it's going to be much more difficult for your body to absorb when these particular mineral combinations are added together. So the magnesium trace elements need to be taken separately in a liquid form. I recommend dissolving those in your water, and the pH Plus Enhancer needs to be taken separately. I like to start my clients out at about 10 drops in each of their 12, sometimes up to 20 ounces of water, because I'm not adding it to increase the pH, although that's a great added benefit. I'm using the dissolved sodium silicate here to actually help the body remove aluminum, especially from the brain. So a lot of times people will get heavy metal testing. They'll see that they have high levels of aluminum or lead or mercury. And so they'll ask me, what do I need to do to detox? Do I need to do any of the chelation, the big detox protocols? And I always explain, no matter what you do, your body will not release the heavy metals unless you have enough minerals on board. See, the heavy metals and the minerals are very close together on the periodic table. And so your body sees them as sort of similar, and it can use a heavy metal such as lead in the same place where it wants to use a calcium, for example, because they're pretty well related. So your body isn't just holding on to and hoarding these heavy metals, it actually is using them sort of. They just don't work as well as your healthy, balanced mineral would. So if you increase the minerals, then your body will have what it actually needs and be willing to release the heavy metals, and you'll have a jump start on your detox. So the pH Plus Enhancer is my go-to for anyone with elevated aluminum levels. Then it works beautifully. I've seen results within 2 weeks as far as seeing an actual decrease in aluminum whenever we're measuring those on an intracellular level. It does take longer to clear things from the brain, and so you want to consider mineral supplementation as a mainstay. That's going to be part of your maintenance program. All right, so now I want to talk about another one of my favorite mineral products. This one is a harmonic water catalyst. What does that mean? So I explained to my clients that this is actually helping your water to be not only more absorbed, but then to get into the cells to where it can hydrate on an intracellular level where it needs to be. So if you've ever noticed, as soon as you start working on your water program and you are drinking a gallon, more than a gallon a day, and you're just running to the bathroom all the time, that's not hydrating your body. That's just running right through, flushing your system, which can have some benefit, but ideally we want the water to get into the cells. And in order for that to happen, the osmotic gradient needs to be balanced. We want to signal all those pores to open and close on the cellular membranes. And this is what I like to recommend to do that. So it makes your water more hydrating. I usually muscle test to determine the exact dose. So the suggested size on the bottle says 3 drops. I've seen patients use anywhere from 3 drops to like 20 drops of this, depending on what their body needs. And so I do recommend you work with a practitioner who does muscle testing so that you can get it honed in exactly to where you need. Okay, next I want to talk about the eStick. This is actually a new product I'm super excited about, new to me. And I've used it for several different purposes with my clients. Originally, I was using it on the canisters where the water was stored in order to help balance and transfer the appropriate frequencies. So energy carries the information through the water to your body. And this is a way to provide that information to the water so that it has those positive frequencies going into your body. However, I also have found it very useful to use alongside any of my equipment, anything that's going to have EMF, anything that's going to have a type of radiation. And so I'll carry it with me with my laptops, and I'll also use it with me in the car. So a lot of times people are sensitive to the impact of EMF, of different types of electronic emissions. So different equipment actually has different types of frequencies. And it's important to understand what your body can tolerate, how much your body can tolerate, and then adjust accordingly. And so I've used the eStick in the car with me, with my equipment, and I recommend for my clients to use it along any of their routers in their equipment room, and they notice that it really helps to decrease the fatigue that they have after using the equipment and the side effects. If they have any types of sensitivity that causes headaches, that causes any type of stiffness or muscle joint pain, then they see a big difference whenever they're using the eStick. So I encourage you to give it a try and let us know how it works for you.
Great. And you practice all over the DFW area.
I do.
So how can anybody here that's local get in touch with you to get some testing or look at what kind of detox they may need?
Sure, I work with a lot of different clinics in the area, and so my schedule is pretty flexible. I have areas in Rockwall, Richardson, Dallas. I have also areas closer over to Fort Worth too that I work with. So, kind of depending on the day, will depend on where I am and what we're working with, what project we're doing. So, if you want to get a hold of me, my direct line is 972-658-6174. And then I always talk to people about what location is really best for them, depending on what their questions are and what type of work we want to start with.
Great.
Thank you.